Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Through the Lens. If you don't know what Through the Lens is, or if you're new to the channel, or if you just subscribed, I do a lot of things on the Steve Tooley channel, a whole fistful of things. And one of the things that I do is I talk about what I do in the way of videography and being a videographer, but I also use Through the Lens as a segment to talk about all sorts of things. In the way of camera gear or doing videography shoots or just whatever. Well, today I'm going to use this episode of Through the Lens to talk about my trip to Cancun, Mexico. I am fresh back from Mexico and hanging out on the beaches of Cancun and wow. All I can say is wow. See, I've never ever been out of the country. I've never ever been on an airplane and I've never seen the ocean or been on a beach. I'm 44 years old, and I'm just now experiencing these things for the first time. It's been amazing, to say the least. So, I've been talking about Cancun. If you've been following me or follow my vlogs or just follow what I do on the channel, I've been talking about Cancun for a very long time. This vacation has been planned for a very long, we're talking months, 6 months or more. Middle of 2016, we knew we were going to Cancun. There was periods through there where we thought maybe we weren't going, and then there was a passport situation where we thought we may have tried to get our passports too late. All things worked out, and we ended up on a plane in Chicago, Illinois, heading to Cancun, Mexico, and we were very excited, very, very unsure of the experience because we've never experienced it before, and but we were very excited. My wife and I, it was just my wife and I who went. It was a work-related thing for her, and there wasn't a whole lot of work-related stuff going on while we were there. But it was because of how well she performs at her job that got us this trip. Ourselves and many others from her company, like nearly 200 people, went on this trip, and it was something that my wife and I needed because just the week prior we experienced a death in the family, and it was tough. It was very tough. Death, I understand death is never easy, but this was tough. This person, her grandfather, was very important to this family, and so to say goodbye to him was not easy. So to be in Cancun, on the beaches of Cancun, to dust off that sad week was really helpful, and my wife definitely deserved a vacation because she earned this vacation just from being who she is, a very independent, strong, hardworking woman. So let's talk about Cancun a little bit, and then I promise you guys I will stop talking about Cancun, Mexico. I've been doing it forever, long time. I've been talking about Cancun too long. And I am a little amped up, so if I see a little amped up, I am very amped up because it was a great vacation. I had a good time, and the reason I want to talk about it on this episode of Through the Lens is because I daily vlog the whole thing. So I seen a lot, and you as well, if you followed the Cancun daily vlogs, you've seen through my lens my experience there. So let's talk about, first things first, we drove to Chicago. We woke up at like 4 in the morning, dropped our youngest daughter off, Emily, at her sister's house, and left her there, which was very hard for us to do. She's our youngest, and it was hard to leave all of our kids because we've never done that. We've been married 23 years. We did not have a honeymoon. We went straight from getting married to being responsible parents. Never took a honeymoon, and never experienced anything in the way of vacation or flight or that type of stuff. And I have to say it all went fairly smooth. But, so we drop our daughter off, we drive to Chicago, we go to Chicago Midway Airport, flying Southwest Airlines, and Southwest is not a bad airline. I won't say nothing bad about it. They were very nice people. The flight was very smooth. The planes, the seating I didn't care for. It was not assigned seating. It was sit wherever you want. They had, I mean, sort of. They had A, B, C. If you were in C section, you sat wherever you want. So the chances of sitting, I mean, if you got a low number, say if you was in C and you got 31 and 32, which my wife and I did, we didn't get to sit next to each other. Someone was kind enough to let me sit in front of her, but I didn't get to sit next to her. Coming back was a different story. So Southwest Airlines was great. They were very friendly. They were very, concerned about safety and things like that. But the no assigned seating in A, B, and C sections, that really didn't appeal to me at all. I would like to just know that I'm in section C and that I'm going to sit in a certain row in a certain seat, and that if my wife has a number right next to mine, she would most likely be sitting next to me. But that wasn't the case. But anyway, with that aside, and that kind of sucked going, and it was my first time on an airplane, and I really wanted to sit next to my wife, and and experience this totally with her. We kind of did. I kept talking back and forth with her, but the flight was very loud, and without her right next to me, it was just difficult to communicate with her. We could have communicated via text, but you have to pay $8 for Wi-Fi, and it was just certain things, and maybe all airlines are that way. I'm pretty sure all airlines aren't just sit wherever you feel like it, but. But aside from that, the flight was fairly smooth. Hit some turbulence going there, off and on, kept hitting some turbulence, really no big deal. It wasn't scary, the flight wasn't scary. We landed in Mexico, about 3-hour flight. Really, a 3-hour flight was not bad. Land in Mexico. You get off the plane, you go through customs. The Mexican airport was okay. It was okay. Getting our luggage was total chaos, and maybe that's common too. I don't know, but it wasn't that chaotic coming back getting our luggage at Midway. But anyway, getting our luggage was a little bit of chaos. Some of the Mexican people at the airport were pulling luggage off the conveyor instead of letting people pull their own luggage out and setting it on the floor. The reason they were doing that is because their conveyor was small and it was getting bound up with luggage. Luggage was just coming through on this conveyor like you wouldn't believe. So they was pulling it off and getting it out of the way so more luggage could come into the building. I understand why they did it, but it took my wife and I a little bit to find our luggage, and then someone told us, hey, our luggage was sitting over on the floor, you might want to look there. I looked across the conveyor, there was our luggage, we went and found it, no big deal. Got through customs like nothing. Getting into the country, no big deal. They looked at our passport, they looked at our immigration paper, stamp, go on through. Luggage passed everything. I was worried about taking the Unique Breeze. I didn't know how they'd feel about that. It was not a problem getting it out of the country at Midway, and it was not a problem getting it into Mexico. No problems at all. So we get there, we go through customs. The baggage thing was a little chaotic. We got our baggage. Then we go out front of the building. Instantly, someone came up and said, "I'll take your luggage. I'll take you to where you need to go." They had someone there waiting for us from the travel agency to lead us to a charter bus, so we could get to our hotel, the Hard Rock Hotel, which was 25 minutes from the Mexico airport. All those things went very smooth. As soon as we got off the plane, got our luggage, got into the country, and was heading out of the airport. We was met by someone who graciously took our luggage, took us to the bus, put our luggage under the bus, and then we were in Mexico, and I'm looking around, and there's palm trees, and it's beautiful and warm, and I'm freaking out, and I'm thinking this is fantastic. I was a little bit tired from the flight. It was my first flight. I don't know if it was jet lag or what, but I felt very tired. We got on the bus, took the bus ride there. The bus ride there was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. The country, Cancun area, obviously, is just beautiful. The bus ride was like 25 minutes. It was the bus was kind of small and cramped, but I mean, these are nitpicking, but I'm just giving you the details. I'm a big guy, so I can't complain about a cramped space because I'm usually in cramped space. I'm tall. I'm 220 pounds and I'm 6'5". So, if I'm sitting somewhere on my watch, I just got done taking the dog for a walk, and my watch is telling me that my workout is over. Thank you, watch. So I can't complain about cramped spaces because, to get on a bus. I mean, the plane was, I had plenty of leg room. The airplane was fine. The bus was, a little smaller. But that was okay. I didn't care. We get to the hotel. We pull into the hotel. I'm like, wow, my camera nearly did not shut off. I had multi cameras recording and documenting my experience, and I very rarely shut my camera off. So much for me to just want to record. I had to refrain at times. I had to refrain just so I could enjoy the experience without being so worried about being a videographer and putting out a vlog for viewers to enjoy. So yeah, and then as we're walking into the hotel to get checked into our room, we were met with a high five and a drink. And food, plenty of food. The drink was pretty powerful. Getting there, they probably made them a little stiffer, so because we were getting off a flight and a charter bus ride, and they probably thought maybe we needed to relax. It worked. Good thing there was food because the drink was very stiff drink, and I just downed it. I said, screw it. I'm in Cancun. I downed it. I did not drink much in Cancun. I would have a beer. I was drinking some Corona Lights. Occasionally at dinner time, I would drink Corona Lights. But at this resort, they offered you alcohol, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They offered you alcohol all day long. So if you're into that, you could have partied the whole day. You could have been drunk the whole time. You might not have enjoyed much, but you could have been drunk. I could have been drunk, my wife and I, the whole entire time. We chose not to. My wife chose not to drink at all. I chose to drink very, very moderately. I did not drink much at all. But I did drink that drink coming off the charter bus because, I just got off a flight. I was feeling a little stressed, and the drink really helped. It really helped. It was a good idea, and I'm glad to give it to him. It was delicious. And then there was food. We got checked in. My wife and I had to wait a little bit for our room, but it was well worth it because they gave us a fantastic room right off the beach, perfect view of the ocean. We looked to the left side of our bed every morning, and that's what we saw. We looked to the left side of our bed every evening, and we watched the sun dip into the ocean. It was fan-frickin-tastic. Loved it. So yeah, we got checked in. We spent 6 days there. First day there was a business dinner, so to speak. We kind of went to it and then bailed out. On Thursday there was another dinner, but it was kind of to give us directions on what was about to happen when the vacation came to an end. Really wasn't a business dinner. It was a way for everybody to get together and connect and have some really good food and music and fun times. And we did. But the whole time we was there, I swam in the ocean for the first time, which I didn't know what to expect. Caribbean, however you say it, Caribbean Sea. It was, I didn't know what to expect, and usually when you jump into a pool or something, if you get water in your mouth, it tastes kind of like maybe chlorinated water. This tasted like salt water, terrible. Waves bashed water right into my mouth, and I jump up spitting it out, and I'm like, ugh. The waves were crazy the day that we went into the ocean. It was knocking us all over the place. It was fun. It was funny. I ended up with sand in places I never ever want to have sand ever again. But the ocean was okay, but it only, we walked the beach nearly every day. We got in the ocean once, and then we got into the pool, and we hung out by the pool, and there was so much other things going on. They had a pool foam party. They had bands, music. I mean, it's the Hard Rock Hotel. Music playing, great music playing all the time. You're surrounded by that hard rock and roll atmosphere, and I'm really into that. And it was just a great place to be. Bars everywhere you turn, buffets everywhere you look. The food and the alcohol was abundant, and it was free. This was all-inclusive resort, so we paid for nothing. We paid for souvenirs at the souvenir shop, but other than that, and because we spent so much at the souvenir shop, they gave us free alcohol to bring home. And I did. I got my shark tooth necklace. I got these two. These are handmade from a lady on the beach. I bought. I got this cool keychain. I don't know if you can I focus in on it? Can I get it? There we go. A little bit. I just thought he was funny. We brought home loads and loads, of stuff for our kids and our friends and family and stuff. And we brought home a lot of things, and yeah, but that was the only time we spent money. We could wake up in the morning. Our room was, Steve, you're getting ahead of yourself. I'll back up just a little bit. Our room was amazing. When we got to our room, it was incredible. I already told you about the view. There was a door that opened up, and it was almost like a whole wall opened up that led out to a nice corner balcony, a very big balcony that looked right at the ocean. We had a jacuzzi in our room. It was a jacuzzi tub, but it was a two-seater, very large. Our shower was incredible, very large glass shower. Our bathroom was separate from our room, and a lot of the rooms, the bathroom is actually in the same room as the bed, which was weird. Ours was not like that, which I was very thankful for. Our room was incredible. 2 closets, a television, little desk area for me to edit video at, and it was great. It was great. The room was fantastic, and then the hotel was so accommodating, and the Mexican people are really, really hard workers. I mean, mind-blowing how fast and hard they work, and how good of a job they do, and working so fast. But very good people. Always asking if you need a drink or if you want some food. They'll get you anything you want. They'll do anything for you, and they really would. So waking up in the morning, going down for breakfast. We had a favorite spot, 2 favorite spots. One of our favorite spots was this buffet area that served breakfast, and we went there just about every morning for breakfast. Sometimes we just grab something simple like fruit and muffins and just go sit out by the beach and eat. Sometimes we would go to this buffet, and a lot of times and sit down. We could sit outside still and have a great view and enjoy the weather, but they had some really, really good food and a lot of it. And when I say buffet, it was buffet style, but you could go up and order. You could order omelets or eggs or whatever, and they would cook it right there for you and put it on your plate. And then you still had use of the buffet. Cost us nothing. And then we had another guy who was a grill chef out on the terrace. That's what I call it. It's not really, I don't know if it's called a terrace, but it was the big concrete area where all the tables were outside next to the pool, which the pool was then next to the beach, and the pool, okay, it almost ran right into the ocean. It was beautiful there, guys, just beautiful. So there was a guy, he was kind of a heavy-set Mexican guy, very tall for a Mexican guy, because one thing I noticed about the Mexican people is they're very short. Most of them were very short. My wife felt, tall there, and she's very short, but she felt normal-sized in Mexico. But there was a few that were maybe they weren't Mexican, maybe they were Hawaiian or something. I don't know. They looked like they were Mexicans, and this guy was a bit robust and rotund and tall, and he cooked like a champ on a grill. And he made ribs and chicken, and he was grilling pineapples, and just his food, his grilling skills were amazing, and we ate there quite often as well. Occasionally you would find a hot dog stand, occasionally you would find an ice cream stand, and they always had coffee. Mexican coffee is very strong but delicious, and just 6 days of that. 6 days of that. We did go parasailing. We were going to zip line over the canopy of the jungle. We signed up for that, and we also signed up for jet skis through the jungle. We canceled those 2 simply because we didn't want to leave the resort, and we just wanted to chill out and relax and enjoy the beach and the resort and just do that. A lot of it was a bit overwhelming and very tiring, and we didn't want to be gone away from the resort for a full day, and just, so we decided not to do that. We decided to save that because we are absolutely going back to Cancun, Mexico next year, and we're taking our family. We thought we'd save some of that stuff to do while we're there. Maybe. We'll see. But we did parasail over the ocean, 25-minute parasail flight over the ocean. My wife and I were together. That was fantastic. I saw him setting up on the beach, and I knew that we had just canceled our stuff, and I was kind of like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. From a videographer perspective, I was like, maybe we shouldn't have canceled anything. Maybe maybe we should do it, you know. And then I saw them setting up parasailing, and it's like right here on the beach, right behind the resort. They're setting up this parasailing. I looked at my wife. I said, "Let's do it." She's like, "It's probably expensive." So I went and asked. It was $130 for both of us. That's both of us. So, you know, not even like $65 a piece. That's not bad for both of us to do that. So I said yes. I had to talk her into it a little bit because she didn't want to spend the money on it. She was so happy that we did once we did it. But it was cool because you got so much for that $130 for two people. You got a jet ski ride out there, and they put us on the jet ski together. This Mexican guy drove like a champ out to this boat, and this boat was about a half a mile out, maybe a little further out into the ocean, and he's just hitting waves, bam, 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 taking us out there. And it was a ride. I mean, we had a death grip on each other and on him on the way out there, but it was an amazing ride to the boat. And then the boat, there was already people on the boat waiting to do their parasailing. It was, you know, he was going in line, and it was like a boat trip, like a boat tour of the up and down the coastline until it was our turn. So that was cool. And then we got to parasail, and it was really easy. I mean, they hooked us up in a swing style harness, so you really felt like you was on a swing. And then you sit down on this platform. They take off. They let you out on your rope, or you know, your cable, and you take off. And it was smooth and beautiful. And we was probably 150 feet in the air. We was above the hotels. And it was amazing. It was amazing. That was a great experience. And that's about all we did in the way of adventurous stuff. I had planned to do more, but once you got there, it was like, you know what, I just want to soak all this in. The birds there were pretty incredible. They made beautiful tropical sounds, and they were very friendly, and they would come up and I would feed them. And I don't think that the people working at the resort really wanted me to feed them, because they're kind of I guess they're kind of a nuisance to some people. I thought they were amazing, and I fed them French fries all the time and bread, and they loved me. These birds would come down, and I mean, go watch the vlogs, go watch the Cancun vlogs. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you want more of a visual of what I'm saying, go watch the vlogs. I'm just and I know I already did vlogs, and now I'm doing it through the lens of Cancun, but I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it, so I can talk. I'm telling you from the perspective of a videographer. When I was doing the vlogs, it was just a personal experience, but from the perspective of a videographer, I was mind blown. It was a beautiful place. The color of the water was something that I'll never forget, and it was just beautiful turquoise, amazing. I mean, it's a color I've never seen before. And the color of the sky was a completely different blue than the color of the sky I'm looking at right here in Fairbury, Illinois. It was wow. It was great, guys. It was honestly great. It was a great time. It was a great time. It was a time much needed. It was a time that my wife and I really enjoyed that time together. She is my best friend. She is my soulmate. She is my partner in crime, and she will be my forever partner in crime. I will grow old with her, is what I'm trying to say, and there's no doubt about that. So we had a great time in Cancun. I may be forgetting stuff, but it was good. It was good. And in the way of a videographer, there were bands, and I would go down and I would break out the camera and start recording the bands. They were cool about it. The foam party, they had Mexico's #1 DJ at the foam party, and I was recording them, and they was just all, you know, interacting with the camera. The band was interacting with the camera. Everybody was cool about the camera. The only thing that I found a little sketchy is when I flew the Unique Breeze, which flew amazing, by the way. I recalibrated it in Mexico, and it flew fantastic. Even on the beach, in the wind, this thing flew great. It's a fantastic little drone. If they could add a gimbal to it, it would be perfect. But it's a fantastic drone, a great flyer, and beautiful quality footage coming out of that drone. But I would get watched. There was beach security, and they would keep a very close eye on me when I was flying my drone at times. Now, sometimes I didn't care, but sometimes they really kept a close eye on me when I was flying my drone. So I don't know why. Maybe they didn't want it near the resort. Maybe they didn't want it near people. Maybe there is rules and regulations, and their rules and regulations are exactly the same as America, so I've been told. And I was flying over people and close, so maybe because the rules and regulations in America are don't fly your drone over a crowd of people. Well, I'm on the beach, there's people everywhere, and I was flying over them. So maybe he was just keeping an eye on me, and if I got a little sketchy with my drone or if I did something stupid, he was going to put a stop to it. That's probably all that was about, but it was weird. That he watched me, because beach security stand there and some of them wear white shirts, some of them wear black shirts, they have sunglasses on, and they look like they're about to take care of business. You know what I mean? I would have put up a fight though. But I did hear that there was a fight in the pool, and hotel security, a bunch of little Mexicans jumped in the pool. They had their walkie-talkies on and everything. When that fight broke out in the pool, they was on them people like piranhas. And I can only imagine that you get a lot of them on you like piranhas, you're in trouble, big trouble. I don't think they play around. So, but most of them, all of them, every one of them was friendly, accommodating, awesome people. And it was a great time, guys. It was a great time. I had the time of my life. Aside from homesick, I was homesick, especially the first day. That probably had a lot to do with being tired and jet lagged and getting up at 4 in the morning and having a 3-hour flight to Mexico and getting through customs and the whole shebang. It is a lot of work and stress and figuring things out to get into the country, and to get out of the country was a little sketchy as well, because they had us go upstairs to A terminal, and we were told that A terminal is where we was going to board our flight. And then they announced, and then I kept watching the monitors, then they announced on the intercom, and I was very adamant about listening to everything that was being said. When I heard flight 231, which was our flight back to Chicago, I was listening, and they said that everything got switched to B terminal, which was downstairs. So instantly we grabbed our stuff, we rushed downstairs, and we were at B terminal, and we're waiting to board the plane. Most of the people on this flight did not hear that. So when they were calling for Section A to board the plane, nobody was there. Nobody from Section A was there. So they called Section B. Then they called Section C. Well, Section C was boarding the plane, and next thing you know, like a gob of people from Section A show up and want to get on the plane. Well, you should have been here. But that was the only hectic part. Getting our luggage once we got back went fairly smooth. And getting back into the country, we had our immigration papers to get back in, and our passports, and it was no big deal. We got home, and we're here, and everything showed up. Well, our luggage is great. All the stuff we brought home is great. Nothing got broken, and we made it back home. And it was a great flight. It was a great trip. It was a great 6 days in Cancun, and we are definitely going back. So there you have it, guys. That is my experience. My very first vacation, my very first flight, my very first time out of the country, my very first ocean experience, my very first experience in really to do with anything like this. And I think it started something, because I'm definitely going to do this again. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to this episode of Through the Lens, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.